inspire, empower, grab your girls and soar a little higher, unlock the fire in you, cause real women don't bitch, no, real women don't, 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 real women don't bitch.
Hey, thank you for joining me on the Real Women Don't Bitch podcast. This is your proud host, August Crenshaw, aka Mrs. Raw, Real, and Relentless. I am the #1 advanced mental conditioning specialist for entrepreneurs because building mental muscle is necessary in order to implement successful business strategies. This show has been created for the woman who is not excuse-driven and needs help building a profitable business. I will be interviewing women from various fields who are willing to break the silence on struggles that specifically affect female entrepreneurs. Welcome to a show where I and guest speakers from time to time share our methods that help us beast our business no matter what is going on in our lives. Whether you are an online or brick and mortar business owner, this show is for you. We will hit every angle, personal, professional, and spiritual. Why? Because on any given day, you get hit with shit from a scenario involving one, more, or perhaps all of the above. It all impacts you and your mindset towards your business. I have made it my personal mission to provide a space where we dive deep into the BS we face on a day-to-day basis. But what do you do when your friends and family want your stuff for free? That right there is almost every entrepreneur's issue. At some point, whether it's just one person or a plethora of people. And I want to talk to you and give you some advice and give you some tips on how to wrap your mind around this conversation and nip this issue in the bud. Here's the deal. You've got a product or service and you've got friends or family that want your products for free. Now, why is this? This could happen for several reasons. One could be because before you started doing this as an actual business, some of you may have this issue, right? Where your friends and family have this thing that they should get the hookup. And the hookup could mean free, or the hookup could mean for a reduced price. And that's a struggle conversation for a lot of people. It's like, oh, that's a hard one and I don't want to have it. And I can come at this from a lot of different angles, but I want to come at this from the angle of your mindset. My first thing is what are you? What are you? Most of you will say, I am a copywriter, I'm a coach, I'm a graphic designer. And I want to challenge you to change your conversation and start saying, I'm a business owner. Literally just saying I'm a business owner. Get away from all of the special titles. And then I want you to think about what a business owner is and what a business owner does, because entrepreneurs, for some reason, you only associate making money in your business with the actual service that you're providing at that moment. So for instance, me, if I'm having a coaching session with someone, then I'm saying, oh, okay, well, I charge this amount per package for this many months or for this many sessions. And if I wanted to break it down, I could say I'm getting paid X amount of dollars per hour. You got to stop thinking like that, because that is thinking like a person with a title that doesn't equate to being a business owner. Really think about what it takes to make your business thrive. I'm going to use myself as an example again before I tell you exactly what I mean by that. The first time I offered a coaching package, it was only for 3 months. The person was only required to do 2 sessions, and I used to charge $100 per session. So that meant that I got a whopping $600. And when the first client, I was like, yay, somebody paid me. Until everything after that was over with. On the surface, you can say, well, I served that person. I worked for 1 hour. I made $100. I'm in the money. Wrong. That's not true. Because now something I used to do is I used to type a report. Well, it took me about anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes to type that report. Then to go and check it, make sure I cross my T's, dot my I's, and I'm not being the typo queen that I can be sometimes. What ends up happening? Well, I spend another 30 minutes to an hour working on that. So I've drastically reduced my earnings down to $50 an hour. Well, what about the fact that I either am going to pay for software where it reminds them of their appointments, or I'm the one picking up the phone, letting them know they have a follow-up session? What about all the pre-work before that happened? What about the advertising cost to let it be known that I was a coach? What about all of those free 15-minute calls and chats that I did that no one else paid for? What about all this software that I'm using for my customer management systems? What about the looking at the books, looking at the finances, calculating the costs, balancing the budget? All of these things have to be done in order for me to grind my business. And guess what? When you are factoring in the cost of what it takes for you to do business, then you'll understand why you need to raise your prices for some of you, and you'll understand why some of us refuse to charge $100 for a session anymore, because you're paying for more things. See, a lot of you guys, you have the wrong kind of conversation. Do you have the kind of friends that when it's time to talk about Target or, some other major corporation, look at them and look at how much they're charging for this stuff, and this shouldn't cost this much? Okay, but how did that building get there? There was a cost to actually build it, or they're leasing that facility. What about the employees? Who pays them? What about the toilet tissue that the employees are using? What about the electricity and the water that's always there operating? What about the shipping costs? What about all the racks and the hangers that the stuff is hanging on? What about theft that comes, and so that messes up their budget? All of these different things. So when a company's pricing their product, they're not only saying, oh, here goes a shirt, I got it in Thailand for $2, so I'm only going to charge $5 for it. No, they're looking at the overall picture, the overall projection, what they plan on selling, what it costs to get it, what they plan on profiting, and how they have to spread all that administrative cost out. And so maybe, just maybe, for a mindset tip, you may actually have more confidence with letting it be known that, no, I'm sorry. Sis, I love you. Cousin, I love you. Best friend, I love you. Random person on Facebook sending me a message saying, can we have a quick conversation? I love you, but the answer is no. The other thing is on the other side of working with you, isn't there a thing called results? I know with working with me, on the other side of it is a thing called results. People have breakthroughs instantaneously, very quickly. If you're feeling distraught and distressed, and August Crenshaw wasn't around, and other coaches like myself weren't around, where would you go? Would you go to a counseling facility? Would you have to pay someone? Or would you be paying towards that insurance package at your job so that it can look like you're going for free while you're paying your copay to get there? People will pay for what they need. And you need to understand that on the other side of them gaining relaxation, a peace of mind, a better brand, the stronger ability to articulate their product or service, whatever it is that somebody else is getting on the other side, even healing, you got to be comfortable for charging with it. And especially my healers. I already understand that do-gooder spirit can come out of you, right? It's like, oh my God, this is a gift and I shouldn't be charging people, right? Because, it's a gift. Once again, let's talk about the cost of being the boss. Let's talk about the cost of doing business, even though it may be an innate ability. Most healers that I know, you go to some type of school, you get some form of certification, you have to continue to do education credits. Did it not cost you to know how to utilize that gift? See, it may be a gift from the divine. It may be a gift from the universe, but here's the reality. The reality is that you had to pay to enhance it. So if you had to pay to enhance that gift, then should not the person that's on the receiving end pay for your ability to continue to be able to do that? This is what it looks like to be in business. And so let me just tell you this really crazy conversation that I had to have with a relative. And this is when I was 21, because I want you all to understand, I started my first business as a hairstylist when I was a sophomore in high school. And I know when I say that to some people, it's like, yeah, right. She was a boss and she was in high school. But what you all fail to understand is that I set appointments. I had time frames. I had pricing, scheduling, fees, all of that. I was for real about my business. But I was also a young mom, right? So I had a daughter when I was 19. And I remember having to talk to one of my relatives and say, hey, aren't you proud of your niece? I've never asked you to buy any Pampers for my baby. And they're like, that was random. I was like, but yeah, I mean, it's a lot of people out here, you know, they got kids, right? And they have to constantly ask someone to foot the bill. You've never had to buy my baby any shoes. Since I've been on my own at a young age, I've never asked you to pay for my rent. I've never asked you to keep the electricity on, to buy me any groceries. And she was like, why are we having this conversation? Well, I'm just bringing this up to you because you're having an issue with paying me for the service that I provide. You seem to always question how much I charge, but I don't ask you for any help. In the real world, if you don't work, you don't eat. And if I don't do your hair, you will pay someone else to do your hair. So with all due respect, because I'm not asking you for anything, I ask you to respect the fact that I'm a business owner. And I understand that that may not be the way that some of you all say it, but you do really need to understand that you need to have a clarifying conversation with people to let them know, no, I'm sorry. It doesn't work that way. If I'm going to extend my expertise, things that other people see value in me for, then I'm going to need you to pay for it. And if you guys didn't get a chance to listen to it, I actually did a video, and that was, a podcast episode where I talked about when people don't want to spend their money, don't take it personal. It's not about you, it's about them. And I'll use myself as an example again. And it's cool because I'll give it time for it to grow. But I launched a membership group. Now I have people that will ask me questions left and right. They've instant messaged me. They've asked questions on my posts. They appreciate my expertise. This is as close as many of them are going to ever get to getting it. They're trying to piece it together. And a lot of you feel the same thing, like people are trying to piece little parts of your expertise whenever you unleash it. You don't want to spend $33.33 to be a part of a group where you can get more relatable, digestible information for your business. That's not a personal problem for me. That's a problem for them. But because I'm firm on knowing my worth and my value, because I understand the products or services that I put out there, then my expectation is I don't care who you are. You will either pay me for what I put out or you won't get anything else other than what I naturally give on a free platform. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to change your life. So who are you? What do you do? And what type of change do you provide? If you weren't doing it, who would those people go to? Yes, even in the healing arenas. Because you want to know what? If there were no alternative to Western medicine, they would still be paying someone to give them medicine to mask their pain. I mean, your guys' conversation just literally has to be this tough, this rough, this raw. And until you understand that, once again, you're not really fit to move up the levels of entrepreneurship if you aren't ready to talk like a boss. And if that's an area that you're struggling in, then you need to get the work done to clear your mindset because you don't owe anybody anything. And I love it for my Christian followers that listen to me. There's a scripture in the Bible that says, "Owe no man nothing but to love him." And so a lot of you, even from a church perspective, you are taking your gift and you are turning it into a ministry. But I could have sworn the Bible also says that if you don't work, you don't eat. So you guys get strong. Understand the mindset behind being willing to charge people what you're worth, even your friends and family members, is because there is a value to it because you are a business owner. Every time you are doing a session with someone and helping them strengthen their brand, helping them break through their mindset, helping them structure their pricing, helping them get through some type of ailment that they couldn't get through and they're not paying you, you could be doing a follow-up with a person that you had a sales call with they said that they did want to spend. You could actually be studying to strengthen your advertising. So when you put an ad out there, you get more clicks and you get more conversion. You could be spending more time grooming and making love to that email list where those people are getting primed to eventually start clicking through your emails and buying stuff from you. You could be doing something else that is financially advantageous. And it doesn't mean that you're all about the money. It means that you're about your business because trust me, they are not about to go up in Target and say, my cousin works here. Do you think I can get that microwave for $50? No. So stop letting them do it to you. It's all about the standards that you set. But until then, for those of you that were able to join me, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you for joining me today. Remember to cultivate a mindset that is biased towards taking action. No bitching, whining, or complaining. Here, our mantra is, real women don't bitch, we get shit done. See you next week as I continue to bring you what you need to keep your head in the game and beast your business. Don't forget to hit subscribe and leave us a 5-star review. Would you like a specific topic covered? Have a question you would like answered live? Then head on over to realwomendon'tbitchpodcast.com. Subscribe to my email list, hit me up, and I got you. Interested in being a guest speaker? You walk the walk? Then you can sign up on the website too. This is your #1 advanced mental conditioning specialist for entrepreneurs, Mrs. Raw, Real, and Relentless. Signing out. Deuces.
Inspire, empower, grab your girls and soar a little higher. Unlock the fire in you.